I'm your host, Tyler Rasmussen, and we've partnered up with our friends at Pool Pro Magazine to bring you a monthly news and notes segment on all things pool related. Knowledge is power, and by tuning in each month, you will stay informed on what the public and the industry are talking about. Joining us for these segments is Pool Pro Magazine's editor-in-chief, Megan Kendrick. With over 10 years' experience writing some of the best articles in the industry, we believe she is the perfect person to notify you on what's going on in the pool world that we know and love so much. Without further ado, let's jump into this month's News and Notes episode.
Welcome to your go-to podcast for the pool and spa industry. My name is Tyler Rasmussen.
And my name is Greg Villafania. And this is the Pool Chasers Podcast.
What's up?
We're here.
Yes, we are. How's it going?
I mean, it's going great. I think what people don't know is that, like, pre-podcast, we talk for about 30 minutes where my goal is just to get you to laugh as much as possible so that you are awake enough to record the podcast.
Yes, it works.
How did I do today?
Did very well.
Okay,
I love
good.
the rants. It's awesome.
Perfect. The rants.
The traveling rants of pool shows.
Oh, man, yeah. I've been to a lot of pool shows. Atlantic City, IPSA, NPC. I'm leaving on Monday for Florida for a hot tub thing, and then Western show.
Nice.
It's a lot.
That's not enough. It's only 5. Is there like
So that's
9?
my family.
Is there like 9?
Yeah.
You got to complete the whole circuit.
I can't.
I know,
actually
right? You
can't
gotta
do it.
choose.
We had to send an issue to the printer. Like, I sent it to the printer in my hotel room in Atlanta. I just need to tell you, like, that's not the ideal situation. So
that's all right. I recorded like intros and other things for my hotel room last week too. On the road, I'm like doing what you got to do.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. It's fine.
You should try carrying recording equipment through security at airports. It's super.
Oh,
fun.
I have.
Super fun.
Do you want to talk about the Super Bowl
what do you want, like
show?
true? I love the Super halftime show.
It was awesome, right?
As I'm sure everybody our generation did.
It was so great. It was really awkward watching it with my parents, but otherwise it was great.
My parents left the room. It's me. I'm like singing freaking Eminem song as he's rapping and dancing with my little boys. Like, they just left. I'm like, this is the dopest halftime ever.
It was so great.
Like,
and okay, so
it's sacked.
Okay, so I'm
going to
steal this.
Too long.
I'm going to steal this from another podcast that I heard today. But like, it was the least horny halftime show that I've seen in ages. Like, which I really
and it was Mary J. Blige.
It was
which
great.
I was surprised, right?
Like, honestly, like, without the 50 Cent part, which in so many ways was the best part, but without the dancers in his little box, like, we went pretty much like skin free.
Yeah, it was pretty
which
close.
As the mother of very young girls, that was great.
It. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Do you want to know? I heard somebody tweeted out, said 50 cents looking more like $1 these days.
Yeah, Aaron and I did discuss this. We were thinking, they're like, how many girdles do you think he has on? Because his face is much puffier than his body. He's clearly like strapped in, which, man, I can appreciate. Like, there's no way I'm going on any stage without things being strapped up and so you know what? Kudos to you, 50 Cent.
Hung upside down. I mean,
hey, yeah.
You know,
no,
I don't even think
awesome.
he was supposed to be a part of it, though. That was kind of a surprise.
Oh, was he the surprise guest? They were supposed to have a surprise guest. It must have been him.
That was it. Yeah, but Eminem was dope.
It was. I
was like told my parents, I'm like, well, that's probably the only song he could have sang on national TV that didn't have to be bleeped out 40 times.
Yeah.
So,
well,
there you go. The 8 Mile
same for
theme
pretty much all of them.
Yes.
But yeah, Mary J. Blige brought down the house as expected.
I mean, I remember seeing. Yeah, I mean, she was way worse when we were younger. Like the posters that she used to have. Like, I was surprised that she had that many clothes on.
Well, I mean, she's like not as. I mean, was there a single person up there who wasn't in their 50s?
No, probably not.
Because Dre was, and Snoop was.
I don't think Eminem
and Mary J. Blige was. So probably not Eminem and 50 Cent.
No, they're a little younger.
They're a little younger, but like still in their 40s.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I saw a tweet where people were
Everybody
like,
older than 45 probably hated it, but that's all right.
It was fantastic.
Me too.
I loved it.
Agree.
My kids loved it. Even
Did
though
they?
I had
Mine too.
no
I was
idea
like
what
dancing
going
with them.
on. Yes.
It was awesome. All right, let's go. So, millionaire boxer Derek Chisora, I don't know, I'm probably saying that wrong, spent the day working as a pool guy to tackle a sewage problem. He went to work with Miles, who's the pool guy, ML on Instagram. So you have to check out the pictures because those pools are pretty gnarly.
That was
Did you see
like,
them?
yeah, I saw that. I feel like it was like all over TikTok for a minute, right?
Yes. Gross. That's cool. I don't
It was
watch
cool, though.
TikTok, so
Because
Yeah.
you're old.
you can reference. Yeah, because I'm old. No, I just haven't had time to spend watching it. But yeah, he's obviously he's growing like crazy. So, Adele postponed her Las Vegas residency after throwing a fit over a swimming pool stunt, which she claimed was COVID related. But we found out now that during the show she was supposed to stand in the middle of a pool. She compared the final design to an old pond and refused. When she saw the first design, she refused to take part. A source told him. Adele described the pool as a baggy old pond and refused point blank to stand in the middle of it. The intention was to fill it with water on the set as she was lifted up on a crane type mechanism, creating the illusion she was floating on water.
Okay, Tyler, my first question about this is why do you hate Adele?
I don't hate Adele.
Because this sounds like a takedown. This sounds like a hit piece on
It
Adele.
did sound right. It did sound
from
like...
page 6, which
Well, maybe
this
it
is
was
where we got this information from.
Probably.
So
I'm not even sure
if she
the
called the
sources,
design
like-
an old pool, I mean, is that like we're talking
pond.
probably
Old
old
pond.
pond? Old pond. So that's probably like a water quality issue, right?
Well, there's no water in it. So it just says design. Old,
Oh.
baggy, old pond. So, hey, if we see it in the new Las Vegas residency, it's probably going to be way more bad A, and then we'll know they changed the
Adele,
design
Adele can do
as she
no
floats
wrong.
on water.
If Adele said it sucked, it probably sucked.
It probably sucked, right? So
Yeah.
do better, pool industry. All right. ABC AU released another article about alternative swimming pools. When we kind of talked about this before, but the story discussed how COVID-19 has sparked a boom in demand for swimming pools. For some of the quirkier, the construction, the better, like swim spas, stock tank pools, shipping container pools, fiberglass, concrete, plungy pools are all kind of booming in Australia. We've talked mostly about them, but the stock tank pools are kind of unique, which we haven't really talked about, being more for like animal troughs, right? But it's pretty cool when you see those pools.
Yeah, well, and the stock tank is like a lot more kind of a DIY, right?
Yeah.
You basically like get in a stock tank, throw it in your backyard, doing some landscaping and kind of hopefully adding a little bit of equipment to keep it clean.
I would hope so. That'd
Yeah.
be so nasty.
I mean,
But
okay.
I have seen them on Airbnb TV shows
Mhm.
and some other cool things where they actually look pretty nice, pretty
Well,
dope.
as someone who spends a fair amount of time on Pinterest designing every corner of my home with money that I don't have, I have seen some really cool stock tank designs.
I bet.
I can see
But-
my kids being pretty down for that.
I think what's cool about it is in the article talks about it being less money, different kind of smaller, fitting in different unique backyards, that type of thing. Whereas
Yeah.
somebody that can't afford a $80,000 pool, a stock tank maybe is another alternative to that. That's not as much money, and you could still, cool down in the summer. So
Right.
it's just a way. I love how people's minds kind of think and adapt to different things where
Mhm.
just like, well, maybe we can put water in this.
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. Well, and it's so cool too. So I honestly had this conversation with my parents last week because
They want a stock tank
Well, not
while
not
they're
specifically.
listening to the halftime show.
Yeah. Did we talk about it then? We might have. I don't know. But so my mom has had a knee replacement, and the doctor has said that being in water would be a really great thing to help her recovery. And
Right.
so we're talking about like, how could you get some water in your backyard? And it's like, and we had this, it was like swim spa, plunge pool.
Yeah.
These are the conversations that we were having. And I was like,
That's
if
pretty
you
cool.
want to get something fast that could be really good for rehab and not like a huge commitment as far as like care and construction and all those things, I was like, these might be some good options for you.
Yeah, for sure. What if 50 Cent was saying, like, find me in the tub instead of find me in the club? Find me in the tub.
Wow. We've truly come full circle.
Oh, that's what you get at 9 o'clock at night.
I really hope that we hear that in a promo on Instagram is Tyler rapping Find Me in the Tub.
I'm in the tub.
It's pretty great. I loved it.
All right. So a small fire broke out in the Sycamore Mineral Springs Resort and Spa, destroying a pool shed, causing chemicals to leak. Although fire was quickly extinguished, common pool cleaning chemicals stored nearby were affected by the heat and leaked into the asphalt surrounding the shed. So just another example of chemicals not being stored properly. And this time the damage wasn't as big as a whole chlorine factory, but it's more news out, more negative news out there on these burning down factories.
I was at BioLab when I was in Atlanta.
Were you?
Mm-hmm. Not at the new
like the
factory,
new one?
though. No, I was just at their offices. So not a factory, just offices. However, I asked if the new plant was going to be on time, and they were like, yep, it's trucking along. So that's exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. The pool industry awaits BioLab.
They truly do.
All right, pool news. What you got?
Pool news. Okay, so the only reason I know this next piece of news is because I was there at the IPSA leadership conference, and so the IPSA has elected a new board. So I'm sure we'll.
Is that how we spell board?
That is how they spell board.
BORD?
They do.
Okay.
I think it's an acronym for something specific that I have not figured out yet.
Nice. I thought I was gonna catch the writer on spelling incorrectly.
No, nope. Sorry, that's really how it's spelled or how they spell it. Which sometimes I heard some people say BORD. So I don't know. It's confusing. Anyway,
so I'm sure
we've got a new group of people,
just like everything.
Yes, exactly. But yes, they had an event in San Diego that I was at, and it was lovely. I had a great time.
Yeah, I saw some cool pictures from that. Seemed like a good time.
Did you see some of my pictures from that?
I don't know. Probably not. Did you post anything from that?
No, but I was the official photographer.
Oh, nice. Very cool. I'm sure we'll be seeing those in a magazine sometime.
Yeah, maybe. And so the PHTA has gotten a bunch of big donations to their Step Into Swim program, which is their Learn to Swim advocacy program. So the USA Swimming Foundation gave them $200,000. Master Pools Guild gave them $40,000. And Fluidra cut them a check for $100,000, which I was there to see the big check handover at the Atlantic City show for that one. So
very nice.
Yeah, so that's great for them and that program, which, we know that more swimmers and more safe swimmers is a great thing for our industry.
For sure.
Latham is expanding. Latham, if you don't know, is a big fiberglass swimming pool and vinyl liner swimming pool and cover manufacturer. So they have opened a new plant, fiberglass manufacturing plant in Canada. And it's going to be the largest plant, according to them, the largest plant to serve the Canadian, Northeast, and Midwest United States. So that's great.
Very nice.
Yes. So then we've got some tech companies in the pool industry that have gotten some additional funding. So Camerai, do you know what they do?
Yeah, we talked about them a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, we did. So they're a drowning prevention camera, I guess is what we'll call them in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. And they just got some seed funding for $1.1 million. And then our friends at Skimmer just raised an additional $5 million in capital. So that's very exciting. And I only have one acquisition story for you.
What?
I know. This is like the first time in a long time where I feel like we've talked about news other than acquisitions.
Yes.
And this is even on the hot tub site. So it's not even like,
some big hot tubs though.
Yes. Yes. I mean, in my other life as the owner of a hot tub magazine, this is big news.
For sure.
Yeah. So Monomoy Capital Partners, they're, private investment firm. They bought Artesian spas and Marquis hot tubs. Artesian is out of Las Vegas, and then Marquis is up in Oregon. So that is pretty big news in the hot tub world. And I think the bigger part of that is that when they put out the press release saying, hey, we've bought these guys, they were pretty much like, and we're looking for more. So expect some more movement on the hot tub side of the industry.
Nice. I like how you put them in parentheses, how to say them for me. Appreciate that.
Oh, that was copy and paste. I didn't do that.
You're good.
Yeah.
That's how Tyler has to get it presented on a paper so it's pronounced correctly.
I mean, I think we could all use some like phonetically spelled out things. I'm about to get to a lot of names for our movers and shakers, and that's going to be a problem.
That would definitely be helpful, right?
Yeah. Do we want to talk about some new products though?
Yes, let's do it.
So we saved like all of the products for one big episode, but I think I've just got a handful to talk about this time. So Fluidra has a new suction side cleaner, the Polaris Atlas XT. And then Hayward has come out with their new advanced Aquarite S3 Omni Salt Chlorination System.
Nice.
So you were in Atlantic City, right, Tyler?
I was not.
I have to say, the Hayward booth was very fun.
Yeah.
They had made a video game where you could put salt in a pool.
Interesting.
It was pretty great, actually.
Like the one that looked like Space Invaders, but
yeah, kind of. So you had this like giant screen, like 4-sided screen that was really tall column pillar thing, and then you would stand there and you'd move your little guy and he'd pick up his bags of salt and you'd go dump him in the pool, and you had to beat the person next to you as they picked up their bags of salt and went and dumped them in the pool.
I mean, I saw Jamie post a picture of that. Somebody posted a picture of it. I didn't realize that's what it was. It looked like Space Invaders to me. But
it was. Version. I mean,
that's pretty cool.
It was really cool. Like, it was a very fun, interactive, like, it was a great piece of branding and marketing. If I
this
do
is
say
different,
so myself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
so
just
used to
really
seeing the same stuff at all the shows.
Yes, it was really fun. They also had like a as someone who doesn't really know anything about casinos, like a little like fake slot machine.
I'm like, are you lifting weights over here? Like, what?
No, I'm just like over here moving my arm. Like, don't you know what this means? But where you could go, you'd like go pull the little lever, and then the thing would spin, and then you would win. I mean, they had some good
Hayward swag.
I won Hayward playing cards, which is fine.
That's pretty cool. Cool for Atlantic City.
But there were, they were giving away some cooler stuff. I just wasn't that lucky.
Lucky to get it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Bummer. You didn't get a salt cell or salt video game.
No, but the video game would have gone over really well in my house, I'm pretty sure.
Right? For sure.
Yeah.
All right, movers and shakers.
Movers and shakers. So this is one that I wouldn't normally have brought up because, again, it's on the hot tub side. But since he moved to a pool company, I thought it was worth mentioning. So Steve Riskigno, he was a GM at Oregon Hot Tub in Portland, very well known in the hot tub industry. He has moved to Evisys as their chief revenue officer.
Interesting.
Yes. Andrea Cheney, she was the brand manager for SpaGuard at BioLab. She is now at Taylor, a brand manager for them. Then Latham has hired Sanjeev Ball as the chief operating officer. And then Melinda Conkey, she has become the general manager at Control-O-Matic. They make those, they make salt systems.
Okay.
Matt Osterhaven, he's now the VP of Finance at Haviland. And then finally, Justin Wiley is the new PHTA Vice President of Government Relations, Standards, and Codes.
Nice. Very cool.
I actually looked through about 50 pages of LinkedIn to bring those to you today.
Very nice. I like it.
You're welcome.
That's good. No, those are all important positions.
Well,
So,
and some of those aren't necessarily new, but they're just ones we haven't talked about before. So,
Right. Cool. Trade shows.
the trade shows, everything under the sun, March 4th and 5th. That's in Orlando. I'm not going to be there. Are you going to be there?
Nope.
No, but I will be at the Western Show, which is the 10th through 12th in Long Beach, March 10th through 12th in Long Beach.
That's my favorite show. So, but hopefully I can get to go to it. But I love the Western Show.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, honestly, about it. It's my last trip of kind of this trade show season, and so I'm excited to be done. I'm also, I don't know, I just think it's going to be fun.
I just think it's just a wholly different dynamic of, service people, very service heavy show, and it's just pretty fun as compared to some of like the international shows, a lot of big brands and big names and just different kind of dynamics. So
Yeah.
I really enjoy the Western being a lot of the hands-on, service people. So it's fun.
Absolutely. And I will say, so I was at the National Plasterers Council Convention last week in Atlanta. And I think if you are a service company who is considering ever going into remodels, that you should 100% go to that show.
Right.
It is the show where I learn the most, and it's fascinating. And, even if you do not do plaster, I think you will learn. I think anyone can learn a lot from going there, just about pools in general and how to better care for them. So I think that show's excellent.
MPCC.
And yeah, it is a mouthful.
I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Give us the Pool Pro article.
Okay. So I kind of love this article. It's Service Truck Tetris is what we've headlined it, named it. We've had the guys from Manning Pool Service in the magazine multiple times. They're great.
They're awesome.
But this was so cool because and it's not like earth shattering. Other people have done this, but they looked at their service trucks and they said, what can we do? How should we arrange the items in the back of our trucks? One, to make it less work on our technicians, and two, less wear and tear on our trucks. And so they basically just like sat down and figured out what makes the most sense from a weight perspective and what makes the most sense from an efficiency perspective. And I love those kind of things. And it's like they've had this program running for a few months now, and they've saved money and time. Like it's actually made a difference. And it's those kind of like efficiencies that I love about any industry. Like if you really care about your job and dive into it and get down to like that kind of detail, I just think the changes that you can make I loved it. It was so fascinating to me. So
yeah, very cool. Greg actually did this with Brothers for us at one point, where we color coded buckets similar to this kind of thing. So it's really cool to take that into effect, right? Even like the little minute details, and it can make it such a big difference.
It's the kind of things that you don't necessarily think about until you think about them. And then you're like, oh, why have I not been doing this from the very beginning? And also like, why didn't I make all of our techs pack their trucks the same way so that they're carrying weight distributed evenly and they're not wearing out their tires? Like, it's just like, oh, this is how we should do this.
Right. For sure. All right. How do we get the magazine?
You can pick up Pool Pro magazine for free at SCP and Superior Pool Products locations. Yes. Or you can have a copy sent to your house by going to poolpromag.com.
Love it. Thanks for joining us again.
It's one for the books.
Yes. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to learn more, you can hit the link in the show notes below or visit poolchasers.com. If you'd like to learn more about Pool Pro magazine, pick up the latest issue at your local SCP or Superior and visit them at poolpromag.com. See you out there, Pool Chasers.